Welcome to Racing Rant, where the lines are sloppy, the grip is imaginary, and the crashes are plenty. I'm Jamal, just a guy learning to race, one mistake at a time. Let's hit the road. Hello, JDs and Lentilmen. Welcome to the first episode of my new little series. I'm just gonna jump right into it because I'm pretty bad at this. I don't really talk to a camera or a microphone, I guess. I'm playing Assetto Corsa, doing some Togue racing on the Akina Downhill. So just quickly, a little bit why I started this series. Recently I went go-karting for the first time, which is kind of significant because I've always sucked at racing games, even though I've really liked to play them. I always liked cars, And after I did that, it kind of really made me improve. I didn't expect it to help that much, but after doing that, I kind of know what I'm doing. I still really suck, but now I can actually finish a downhill lap without dying completely. That 370 had a pretty cool recovery, and actually keep up with him for a while, surprisingly. He was pretty good. Then I almost did a clean drift here. Kira's almost hit that curve, unfortunately, but I don't think I really meant to drift anyway. So if you're watching this and you don't really know what Togue is, you can kind of see it, but it literally just means mountain pass in Japanese. More specifically, the Togue is just winding roads that connect the mountain areas and cities and towns. But for people that like to race cars, it's basically just a racetrack, as you can see. Japan has kind of always had a huge car culture, and that was just a popular spot for people to meet, usually late at night, and test their driving out, test out their cars, maybe they put some new mods in it, and just kind of meet up and have fun with other people. Now here, I can't tell if I just suck and I hit that corner, or if the 370 got tired of me being slow and just pushed me out of the way. Either way, it kind of worked in his favor, and he got ahead. And I think that's the last time that I'm in front of him. Rest in peace. And I guess from the embarrassment of being passed from that, I tore my car for the first time. We're just gonna kind of ignore that when it comes up. The reason I really like Togue racing is because it's mostly driver skill. Even if your car is faster, if you don't know how to trail brake properly, you don't take the corner the right way, you're gonna go flying off a cliff. And obviously this is a simulator and I don't really care if I go flying off a cliff, but that's a big reason why it's fun. It's not just like a track where you hit the turn wrong and you're gonna go into the grass a little bit, or hit the sand. There's just very little margin for error. It's also just a lot more fast-paced, I would say, than just a normal track. And me personally, I also really love rally racing, and Togue racing is pretty much just rally racing, just unsanctioned. It feels a lot more something I can just go out myself and do, rather than just watching it on the TV. Which is the truth for a lot of people. This is something that a lot of people do. I don't flatter myself too much, but I think this was a pretty clean section, if I do say so myself. And I would love to try Togue racing sometime in real life. I'm not in a very good area for it, but I was honestly thinking about starting something, allegedly. Finding a nice location and making sure it's done safely. The way people usually do it is they'll have a spotter at the very start of the track and a spotter at the very end with radios, and if you see someone at the end, you'll call it over the radio and you know to slow down, and once all the cars pass, then you're good to go. We got my favorite part of the Togue coming up, the twisties. And I think it would be fun to get people together and do something like this. Obviously it probably wouldn't be very legal, but allegedly. But anyway, enough yapping about the Togue. Kind of want to get back into the main point I was talking about earlier, with going go-karting for the first time. So I went with a new friend that I made, and he's pretty good, and he's been giving me some pointers, but it really helped learning stuff like proper racing lines, trail braking, and doing it with a crappy setup like me with the G29 wheel. It's kind of hard, honestly, on the simulator, and doing it in real life kind of gives you that muscle memory. This is when things start to kind of take a turn for the worse. I start to get a little sloppy, start hitting things, but it's alright. It's all for fun. Before I went go-karting, I would never hit the apexes. I was taking turns completely the wrong way, honestly. Almost like I was driving on the street. And it's kind of hard to notice that when you don't know what you're doing, but racing against other people in real life, you know, it really teaches you pretty quickly. Especially when you're on a track like I was, where people will send you into the stars if you're slow. You know, you kind of have to be good in a way. Forces you to improve fast, I guess. It's also just easier in general, racing in real life, than on a kind of low budget setup like me. It's a lot harder to feel stuff, you know. When I'm in the go-kart, I can feel when I hit the brakes and my car is starting to lose control or turning. Versus in the simulator, I'm just sitting in my chair, you know. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know what I was cooking here, but I would have died. But yeah, if you guys have never been go-karting before, I would definitely recommend find a track near you and go at least once. Especially if cars interest you or racing, or if it's just something that you don't really understand, you know. Anyway, after that I kind of started to give up near the end. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the video. Nothing crazy for the first episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe you want to stick around for the next one. In the future, hopefully there'll be a lot more commentary, some real life races, me doing some go-karting. Stick till the end, you'll see a little clip. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Deuces.
Floor it.
Okay.
Hold it.
Yep.
Alright, let go of the gas. We're gonna have you jump off.
Get off?
Yeah.